line-up today is Jack Davidson, Conlon, Schofield, Gardner, Bridge, Gale, Pearce, Hardwick, Brooks, Roach, Elias and Marquito. The Bulldogs line-up: Potter, Mullane, Farah, Chris and Peter Mortimer, Terry Lamb, Steve Mortimer, Langmack, Batiste, Gillespie, Kelly, Johnston and Tunks. And the referee for this great challenge is Mick Stone.
That's Canterbury running from right to left. Gary Jack, first touch of the ball for the Tigers. Tunks there together with Kelly making the tackle and Johnston getting in for his share. Pearce taken solidly by the second row for Canterbury, Gillespie.
Canterbury have got some of the strongest hitters in the game, and I expect to see some tremendous one-on-one confrontations here in the opening minutes between the forwards. And as Don Furner was talking to Graeme Hughes, Canterbury Bankstown took a tap and kicked the ball immediately to Balmain, so it's obvious what they want. They want to give Balmain the ball and get as much strong defence into them as possible early in the game.
Ball played by Roach, who got up to play it with a big smile on his face, and here's the penalty against Canterbury. They might be enthusiastic in wanting to hand it out to Balmain in defence, but they were over-enthusiastic that time. Well, I've told you the breeze is coming out of the Paddington end. It's quite a strong breeze, but as I said earlier, not as strong as it has been in recent matches we've done here, but it's coming from that opposite end of the ground, the Paddington end or the Bradman stand end. Got it away nicely. It's a goal. Balmain draws first blood. They lead 2-0 over Canterbury in this NEC semi-final. But that way, the hand is in the air. The elbow is immediately below it. It's not in the mould of what you might say running with a cocked elbow where it's horizontal to the ground. But nevertheless, he's using it as a protector. This is Gary Jack, and now it's Russell Gardner. Gardner high flying inside the 22. Outside for Gary Schofield. He's picked up a try. The try-scoring wizard, this fellow, Gary Schofield. You don't have to be reminded of it. Look at the jubilation on the Tigers. And I guess some of them are saying, and they said we couldn't handle the big time. They'll handle the big time, don't worry about that.
Well, this is the try that Balmain coach Frank Stanton would have been looking for early in the match, and it all started with the Australian fullback Gary Jack. He popped up a pass in a tackle. We can see a tremendous passing movement here between the two outside backs. Gardner, he read the play well. He called the loop around from the English centre free quarter Schofield, and he did the rest.
Here it is again. Gary Jack. Low down action shot of the Australian fullback, and he started it all. Russ Gardner, given a second life really by Balmain coach Frank Stanton. And then Gary Schofield, the Englishman who's turned out to be a try-scoring wizard. Well, what a tremendous Australian season he's had, this fellow. Conlon on a cute angle. 8 metres in, 22 out. He's missed it, I think. Yes, he's missed it. Just across the face of them. So no change. 6-0. Balmain leading Canterbury, the NEC semi-final from the cricket ground. Canterbury anyways.
The best laid plans.
With mice, men and commentators. Canterbury haven't played the first half at all well, but you know, they're going to be fairly happy, I would think, with the scoreline, remembering that Graeme has told us this wind has gusted up.
There's some solace in the scoreline, and the fact they're still in the match. You know, you couldn't write them off, but they've got no credits at all on the way they've played. That's got to be a worry.
So there's the half-time score. The siren having sounded. Balmain 6, Canterbury no score, and a half-time comment from Graeme Hughes.
Well, Ray, Canterbury consider themselves the lucky side in this first half. Lucky because they're only just 6 points behind. They really should be behind by, say, 12 or 18 points. And this match is going to be gone in the second half if the Bulldogs can't plug up the defence out wide, where Balmain, very simply, have too much pace for them.
Into the wind. I don't know that Ross Conlon would want to take this kick.
He's having a look at it.
My word, he is. He's gone up like a very keen surveyor. He's having a look at the scene. What do you reckon, Graeme?
Well, Ray, whether he's going to put this ball dead or not is another thing. You've just got to go for it. 6-0 on the scoreboard, and this could be the match winner.
This would be, it's almost a 50-metre kick under normal conditions, but considering this breeze, I'd say it'd almost make it a 60-metre kick. You'd have to put that much effort into it to get the distance.
I made a comment, the first match we did was Balmain, and thank goodness it's not in hindsight, but I thought he might kick them into a semi-final position, but he didn't really have to do that. There's been so many good players around him. And there's his kick. It hasn't got the length. It's dropping well short. But I'll tell you one thing, if Conlon gets out there on grand final day, I'd rather have him with you than again you. 6-0. Balmain sweeping it back to the blind side for Hagan. Hagan, good football. Here's Michael Potter. Inside. Here come the Bulldogs. From Billy Johnson have gone to Stevie Mortimer. Back for Terry Lamb. And Canterbury scores. 75-metre try. Great stuff by Canterbury. Terry Lamb, the try scorer.
And you can see here why Terry Lamb's known as the best person, the best backer-upper in football. It was the initial break here, made by Canterbury Bankstown in the form of Michael.
Brian Batiste. There goes Brian Batiste now. Lamb hits it sweetly, and he's got it. Good kick by Terry Lamb to convert his own try. Canterbury and Balmain, 6-all now. Near his own goal line. Now it's Andrew Farrer. Away from Davidson. Inside Benny Elias. Scott Gale makes the tackle. Balmain's area. Hits it nicely. It's getting away a touch, but he's got it. Another goal for Terry Lamb. Canterbury 8. Balmain 6. Coming back the blind because there's a few players out there. Oh, he's given a penalty. It's a penalty to Balmain and a chance for Ross Conlon to draw this match.
Well, this is a pressure kick if you've ever seen one. Under normal circumstances, Ross Conlon, 9 out of 10 he'd kick these, but pressure at the Sydney Cricket Ground, any goal kicker, it'd only be 50-50.
And in my opinion, it's on his wrong side. 1 out of 3 for Conlon.
It's just impossible to block out the fact that there's a huge crowd here, you're playing on this arena, there are other players talking to you, and the importance of the match.
There'll be no team that Ross Conlon would like to kick a goal like this against outside of Canterbury. There's his kick, and he's got it! Ross Conlon has drawn the match at 8 points all. 8 points all. done it already. Now it looks almost inevitable that Balmain and Canterbury will be forced to go the extra 20 minutes.
And watch out for the field goals, because there'll be plenty of them flying about.
Scott Gale getting it outside the 22. There's the sign on the Diamond Vision screen. And there it is. The siren has sounded. The turnaround is on. The final score after 80 minutes, 8-all. But we've got 20 minutes now to go. Take stock, Graeme, of replacements used. It's very important at this stage.
Well, that turned out. Fullback, he knew he had the guy that had the pace to make it underneath those uprights in Stevie Mortimer. But Greg Malane thought the pass was headed for him and knocked that ball forward. That was going straight to Mortimer's arms.
Here's Potter. Some of these players can hardly lift their feet up at the moment. Billy Johnston. There's the end of the first 10. So they come around again, and this time Canterbury will have the breeze. In the event of a draw, a replay will be held next Tuesday at the Sydney Cricket Ground at 7:30. 8-all the score here at the moment as we go round for the final 10. Stanton screaming messages out through John Davidson, telling him to send it onwards. Canterbury have got the breeze in the second set of 10.
Well, the tactics of both sides are obvious. Canterbury will try and work the ball down for a couple of tackles and then drive the ball downfield. Try to get the ball back and maybe kick a field goal. Conversely, Balmain will be looking to pin Canterbury here. They'll try to get the ball back and do a similar tactic, and that'll be to look for the field goal. If something else opens up a little bit wider, make the most of that opportunity.
Down by Ross Conlon. Well refereed, even though Conlon doesn't agree. See it again. Looking at that, maybe Conlon had good reason to complain. Coming out towards the 32-metre line. Potter. Farah to the halfway line. Got rid of Ross Conlon. He's got support on the inside. He's still going. Andrew Farah scores. Andrew Farah scores for Canterbury Bankstown. Oh boy. Andrew Farah with a sensational game buster. And Frank Stanton heads for the dressing rooms. Look at the jubilation with these Canterbury players. Well, what a block-busting performance by Andrew Farah.
Well, football at these situations is about complete joy or complete disappointment, and here you'll see a demonstration of both. Michael Potter popped up a good pass to Andrew Farah. He'd put himself into a space, but he had to beat firstly a tackle by Conlon. We saw the cover defence coming across from the side. He never realised that John Davidson was behind him, and that was a vital tackle. Davidson missed it. Farah looked inside, didn't need support, and over he goes for the match winner.
Canterbury Bankstown now leading by 12 points to 8. And here's the try again on replay. But Andrew Farah, he basically won the match single-handedly in the final analysis. What a great individual try by Andrew Farah. So Terry Lamb can take his time. Two from two for Terry Lamb. Beautiful kick by Lamb from the sideline. Lamb converts the Farah try, and the siren has sounded. Canterbury Bankstown 14, Balmain 8. deadlocked until the last 60 seconds. So Canterbury to play St George, Balmain to play Parramatta. What a sensational match. What an incredible finish. Canterbury's tries, Terry Lamb, Andrew Farrer. Lamb, 3 goals. Schofield a try for Balmain, and Conlon 2 goals.
Andrew, how do you feel? Oh, not even come down to earth yet.
Can you talk us through that last try in those dying seconds?
Well, I didn't realise, I think it was Davidson was right on my tail, and I was going to put it inside to Greg Mullane or Terry Lamb, and then when Davidson fell off me, Jack was probably worried about the blokes inside more than me, I think, and then once I sort of got past him, I thought I could get there.
And you didn't want to go through Tuesday night?
No, today was bad enough.
Well played. Okay, a very tired Canterbury matchman, Andrew Farrer. Let's go straight to our man of the match with Billy Anderson.
In a game where both sets of players played themselves to an absolute standstill, our man of the match today is the Canterbury Bankstown halfback and captain Steve Mortimer. Congratulations, Steve. A game where Canterbury Bankstown looked shot to pieces at half-time, but you're able to fight your way back for yet another chance.
Yes, I'm very proud of the boys. Both sides, I think, played well, and it was a very, very stiff win that first half, and couldn't really see it out there, but it was very hard that first half, and I waited the second half to capitalise on it. But I'm very proud of the boys.
What were your thoughts when the match went into extra time?
Hey, probably 10 years ago, I'd say, I could handle Tuesday night, but not now, so... No, we just waited our time, and we bombed a few chances, but I think justice prevailed, and Andrew Farrer scored a great solo try down the sideline.
Can Canterbury go on with it from here?
Well, mate, we are the defending premiers. We're very, very proud of that title. I'm sure we can. We've got the right character, we've got the right club, and we'll just give it our best shot against St George. They're a great side.
Once again, for taking today's Man of the Match award, you'll receive the NEC Game Ball Trophy and also a cheque for $500 from NEC.
Thanks very much to Channel 10, and particularly thanks very much to NEC. I think that's great.
Frank, to my mind, that scoreline at half-time was where it was won and lost. I thought it should have been a lot more in favour of the Tigers.
Yes, we had a few chances there that we didn't take in the first half, and maybe had we, if we would have come off without the extra time, and certainly as winners. I personally was disappointed straight after half-time too. I think we lost that half a yard of urgency that was present in our game before half-time, and that allowed Canterbury to get on the roll, and they scored the try to hit the lead. However, you can't put old heads on young shoulders, and once again it's another learning experience for us, and we'll lick our wounds and turn up next week.
Yeah, another turning point also, Wayne Pearce. Is there any further news?
Yes, well, Wayne's in the Sydney Eye Hospital, and if you can say there's good news about that situation, 90% of his retina has been cleared, but there's another doubt about the other 10%. And they've kept him in, and he'll be kept in a hospital for 5 days for observation, and he's not allowed visitors for 1 or 2 of those days. But it's not, at this stage, it doesn't appear to be as bad as the previous one he had, but still it was a blow.
Warren, a victory to the Bulldogs in extra time. I hope you're not going to give me one of those "it was never in doubt" quotes.
No, I wouldn't do that. I bit my nails down to the elbow, and I think everybody else in the Bulldog camp did too. So it was one thing I would like to say is that we played dreadfully in the first half, and down 6-0, I think it showed a lot of ability to come back and win it from there. And also we created some chances that could well have been tries and bombed them. So it was a bit of a scrambling game from our point of view, but I thought it was a great effort by the Blokes to win it from behind.
So Steve Mortimer takes out the man of the match, and there were several good performances, I'm sure you'd agree, on both sides of the fence.